below average. We have a lot of sunshine right now to start the day off, but we are tracking some cloud cover off to the northwest that will begin to increase this afternoon, becoming mostly cloudy for the later half of the day. Temperatures right now for some warmer than your highs yesterday, sitting in the upper 20s to mid 30s right now. 24 in Warsaw, 28 in Lebanon, 30 in Branson, and 35 for you in Mountain Home. Into the afternoon today, we climb back into the 40s, most in the mid to upper 40s for highs by around 3-4 o'clock, and then staying in the mid 40s heading into the evening. And tonight our temperatures don't really cool off too much more. As we head into the afternoon, some spots like some of our northeasternmost cities could be stuck in the low 40s and then flirting with the 50s down in northern Arkansas, 47 in Monette, 45 in Stockton by 4 o'clock today. And as we head into the next couple of days, today's going to be another cooler day, but certainly warmer than yesterday. We have a big warm up heading into the weekend, and most will stay dry all week, but there is a small rain chance for some of you tonight that'll time out hour by hour coming up. Most cities in the low 40s, we'll say, and then mid to upper 40s here around Springfield towards Branson, flirting with the 50s in northern Arkansas. Average highs about 59 degrees, so everyone's well below average for this time of year. By around 8 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures that still haven't moved too much. Some upper 30s to mid 40s still, and lows tonight only cooling off in the upper 30s to low 40s as you wake up tomorrow early morning. Now winds today will begin to pick up a little bit as well, this time though coming in from the southwest, so a little bit warmer of a wind compared to yesterday, and certainly not as strong either. We'll see gusts picking up around 20 to 25 miles an hour. Nothing too crazy for us. And winds stay a little breezy overnight tonight as well, gusting about 25 miles an hour. Before they do become a lot lighter by tomorrow afternoon. Winds not playing a huge factor to Wednesday afternoon at all. But today it will help increase our wildfire threat just a bit. We have a medium to maybe high threat for some of you this afternoon, thanks to some very dry air in place for now, and winds a little breezy at times. Of course, things are starting to green up, but be extra careful if you have to burn anything today. Relative humidity does go up after dark, and we have rain chances going up as well. So this is a look here at 5 o'clock. You see the cloud cover hanging around. We have a little bit of rain pushing on in. Very isolated. Most will stay dry, and if you see any rain, maybe about a trace. It's not going to be a lot at all. And then heading into sunrise tomorrow morning, the rain's on out of here. Clouds beginning to break up, and we'll see more sunshine for Wednesday afternoon. A nice and warm day tomorrow as we track a big pattern change. So taking you into the mid levels of the atmosphere right here, where we have this big upper level trough swinging through today here in the eastern half of the U.S. That brought us the cold air yesterday, keeping us cooler today. But we're watching this ridge off to our west. This is where all of the warm air sits, and we'll continue to start to pull in some of that warmth as it expands here across the central U.S. from Wednesday all the way through your weekend. And by Saturday, we'll likely see the warmest temperatures of the week, well above average for this time of year. So we're on the uphill now. Tomorrow, upper 60s, upper 70s Thursday, 80s for your Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday dropping back into the upper 70s, still above average. And you know, if we're looking at any rain chances in the forecast, they should populate here on the bottom, but I do think we enjoy a stretch of drier weather aside from that small rain chance tonight. And let's just take a look at temperatures across the area for your Friday and Saturday afternoon, because it will be gorgeous. We'll sit in the upper 70s to low 80s. I do think maybe a little bit warmer than what this model here shows around Springfield. We'll likely also sit around 80 and maybe around 80, 82 in Harrison. And then by Saturday, temperatures warming up a little bit more. We'll likely be in the mid to upper 80s, some 90s back over in Oklahoma. It's going to be a really warm day. You'll wish the pools were open, but yes, it's the start of spring. Not for many, a little bit cooler in the low to mid 40s in our northeastern cities. Tonight, overnight lows not in the teens, so we'll be in the upper 30s to low 40s, a little breezy, and a chance for a few isolated, very light showers, certainly nothing severe. Tomorrow, climbing back, we have some cloud cover continuing to increase across the area. Right now, some thin, high cloud cover moving on in. Temperatures right now still back in the low to mid 30s for many, a little bit warmer in Harrison, Rogers, 36 in Monette, 29 still in Warsaw, Throughout the day ahead today, we'll continue to climb back into the mid-40s for many by around 4 o'clock, and then we'll stay in the mid-40s throughout your evening hours before only cooling off just a little bit overnight tonight. Temperatures today low 40s in some of our northern, northeasternmost cities, and then mid to a few upper 40s here back from around Stockton all the way down through Mountain Home for the day today. Now, over the next few days, here's what we're looking at. It's another chilly day today, at least warmer than yesterday, but a big warm up on the way heading into the weekend, and we stay mostly dry, but there is a small rain chance for just some of you overnight tonight. I'll have that timing hour by hour coming up soon.
Thanks, Dave.
We're looking at some cloud cover beginning to increase. Still very thin right now with some peaks of sunshine, but cloud cover off to our northwest, moving on in, becoming mostly cloudy this afternoon, and temperatures warmer than yesterday, but now it's the coldest day of the week, not including yesterday. We'll be in the mid to upper 40s, some low 40s in our northeasternmost cities. Everyone, though, below average for this time of year, and then only cooling off a couple degrees by 8 o'clock, with lows tonight in the upper 30s to low 40s, waking up early tomorrow morning. So really just down a few degrees from our highs today. And winds will begin to pick up slightly this afternoon. They're coming in from the southwest, so it is kind of a warmer wind, trying to push in some warmer air. And we'll see some gusts today, about 20 to 25 miles an hour. That trend continues overnight tonight, so a little bit breezy for the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. But I do think after sunrise, our winds actually really begin to die on down, and I think we'll see pretty light winds actually during the day tomorrow. Now, today, with winds just a little breezy and very dry air in place, there is a medium to high fire risk this afternoon. We have very low relative humidity, winds gusting about 20-25 miles an hour. So if you have to burn anything today, be extra cautious. Relative humidity does go up as we head into the evening and certainly the overnight hours tonight. Now today there's the cloud cover moving on in. There is a small rain chance tonight for just a stray shower or two. Most will stay dry. That better chance north of I-44, extending here into parts of south central Missouri for a sprinkle. If you see anything, it's about a trace. Most will stay dry, though, with cloud cover breaking up, and we'll see more sunshine for the day tomorrow, turning out to be a really beautiful Wednesday. So here's our weather setup that we're looking at this week. We've been tracking this big upper level trough that brought us the cold Sunday, Monday. Still keeping us cooler today, but the worst of it's out of our area now. And we are looking at that trough moving off to the north and east. And we focus our attention back over towards this big upper level ridge. This is holding a lot of warmer air, and we'll start to pull in some of this warmth as we head into the day tomorrow, and really as it expands, temperatures warm up pretty significantly heading into the weekend for your Friday and on Saturday. So the first day of spring on Friday will feel more like summer for us here in the Ozarks. And here's how this plays out. Upper 60s tomorrow, 70s Thursday, 80s Friday and Saturday, and then still well above average by your Sunday with a stretch of drier weather. Here's a look at forecasted highs. This is just one model for Friday. I just want to show you upper 70s to low 80s, and I actually think we'll be in the 80s in Harrison and here in Springfield. But then heading into Saturday, even warmer, likely in the mid 80s, with some spots maybe trying to climb into the upper 80s with some 90s off to our west back over in Oklahoma. Through the weekend, cool here in the Ozarks, but we are tracking a couple systems, one back over off towards the northeast, bringing them some snow today with very cold air across the region. We have also a little wave of snow back from parts of Minnesota into Iowa, the Dakotas into Nebraska, and also a little bit of a winter mix there in parts of Nebraska as well. This wave right here is actually the one that brings us a small rain chance heading into the night tonight. It does look to be really just kind of rain for us here in the Ozarks, maybe a little bit of snow in parts of northern and back over into northeastern Missouri tonight, but nothing too significant. Back off to our west, fire danger today. Pink means a red flag warning covering about half of Oklahoma into parts of Nebraska as well as parts of Colorado into the Rockies there today. You can see the cooler air with this upper level trough swinging through back over towards the Great Lakes and into the Northeast. 28 for a high in Cincinnati, 25 in Chicago, 47 here, kind of splitting the difference in Springfield, 65 in Dallas, 97 today in Phoenix. So while we aren't flirting with the 100s, we are looking at temperatures approaching records for for parts of the week, including Saturday. We'll talk more about that in your full 7-day forecast coming up again soon.
Get those shorts.
Has now confirmed 4 tornadoes from Sunday, March 15th, where we had the severe storms moving on through with numerous severe thunderstorm warnings and a couple tornado warnings here in parts of south central Missouri. So you can kind of see these small lines right here. These are actually going to be the tornado tracks, and we have 2 EF1s, the first one being between Kabul and Simmons. Winds topped out at 94 miles an hour, and that path length was about a 1/4 mile with a tornado width of about 100 yards. And you can see that right there, maybe right around the Shady Grove Road and Birding Road intersection. And then back off to the north and east, another EF1 towards Eunice, 94-mile-an-hour winds with that, and the path length was a little bit longer, stretching back about 2.5 miles, also a width of about 100 yards. And then another one, EF0 towards Summersville, winds at about 85 miles an hour. You can see maybe in a little bit more, really close at least, to a bit more of a populated area there. The width was about 75 yards. And then also one more EF0 tornado that was just northwest of Willow Springs, 85-mile-an-hour winds beginning right around County Road 1030 and extending back over towards County Road 1050 right here. Path length was about 1 mile long, also with a width of about 75 yards. Our northeasternmost cities tonight, overnight lows not too bad, upper 30s. Ready for the warmer air again. We had a quick cold snap today, also well below average, but certainly better than yesterday. Right now we have mostly cloudy skies, and we are looking at a big temperature spread across the area right now, ranging from 34 in Rolla, 36 in Warsaw, to 46 in Branson, and hitting 50 right now in Harrison. Throughout the rest of your evening, still temperatures will be a bit variable. There is a chance for a few sprinkles in some of our northwesternmost cities. Right now, maybe a sprinkle or two over towards Nevada, and we'll be in the mid-40s, we'll say, over the next several hours and heading into the night tonight. Lows dropping back in the upper 30s. I think a few more upper 30s in our northernmost counties than what this model here shows. But some upper 30s to low 40s waking up, so not cooling off too much more than where we're actually at right now for several of us. But tomorrow afternoon, sunshine returns, upper 60s, low 70s for highs, back above average. And if you think this is nice, get ready for some 80s on tap heading closer to the weekend. And we'll talk more about that and some rain chances that you do have overnight coming up soon. Some rain chances on the way overnight tonight. A few isolated sprinkles possible for just some of you. We'll talk more about your forecast over the next couple of days, including when the 80s return, coming up next.
You're from here, right?
We're only up from here. Good. Over the next couple of days. We'll start off spring feeling a bit more summer-like. So I don't know that Mother Nature can kind of make up what season we should be in. But right now, surface temperatures are above freezing, so this would just still fall as rain. But surface moisture is really kind of lacking, and so as the rain's trying to fall, a lot of this is actually evaporating before it reaches the surface. Still though, a few sprinkles possible back up towards St. Clair County right now. It's not hours heading into the late evening and overnight hours as well. By around 8 o'clock today, upper 30s to mid 40s temperature wise. Overnight lows will sit in the upper 30s to low 40s as well. Not really cooling off much more by tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, many around 69 to 70 degrees, back above average. Really nice afternoon featuring a decent amount of sunshine. And so we're kind of talking about seasons and Mother Nature being kind of confused. So what season is it? Right now we're in our third winter, I would say, from Sunday, Monday, today, and we're trying to head into the pollinating. However, I think we might skip actual spring this week and just head into summer as temperatures soar back well above average, and some spots could flirt with the 90s for the later half of the week. Now, winds today haven't been too bad yet. They could begin to pick up over the next couple of hours, gusting this evening and overnight around 20 to 25 miles an hour. So that's not too strong, but it will be coming in from the south, trying to push in some warmer air. And then by tomorrow afternoon, winds will be pretty light. I'd say on average about 5 to 10 miles an hour, so not too bad. But let's track the rain for you over the next few hours. Like I mentioned, we actually have some showers trying to develop north of I-44 right now. They're really just not reaching the surface in many spots. And any rain tonight is actually going to be pretty isolated in nature and a little bit better maybe back up into parts of central and eastern Missouri, where they could also see maybe a few flurries back over towards St. Louis. And then by around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, we should be dry and we'll have cloud cover breaking up with more sunshine tomorrow afternoon. Now, here's what's happening weather-wise. Our pattern is beginning to change again. This upper level trough that brought us the cold weather is continuing to shift over the next few days back off to the north and east. And we turn our attention to this upper level ridge off to the west. That's kind of holding all of this warm air, and we'll start to pull in some of that warmth tomorrow, Thursday, all the way into Saturday and Sunday as well. Temperatures climbing well above average, and our weather pattern looking pretty quiet too. So here's a look at us riding the roller coaster back into the 80s for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If we have any rain chances, they're supposed to pop up here on the bottom, but I do think we enjoy a stretch of drier weather after this evening and overnight tonight. And just want to show you your forecasted highs for Friday afternoon. This is 4 o'clock, low 80s for many. Saturday will feature temperatures, I think, in the mid 80s. Some upper 80s could be possible in a spot or two, and 90s back over in Oklahoma. Confirmed tornadoes from Sunday, March 15th, this past Sunday's storms passing by with a strong cold front that brought us this big winter blast. We have 2 EF1 tornadoes, the first between Kabul and Simmons, with winds maxing out at 94 miles an hour. That path length was about a quarter mile long. And then the second EF1 was a bit longer, stretching about 2.5 miles. So that was back over towards Eunice, and winds were about 93 miles an hour there. Then an EF0 reported back towards Summersville with winds at about 85 miles an hour. You can see that path going from around Bandy Drive, crossing 17 and back off to the north and east. And then the last one is another EF0 tornado. This was northwest of Willow Springs with winds at about 85 miles an hour. That path stretched about a mile from County Road 1030 back over towards County Road 1050 here, and the path width was about 75 yards. The good news is, despite these 4 tornadoes, fortunately we have not had any injuries reported. Rain showers for the most part heading into the evening. While I don't want to rule out maybe a flurry or two, most will just see some light rain, certainly no accumulation if you see a flurry. And a lot of this falling right now actually isn't reaching the surface. So overnight tonight, a few very light isolated showers, upper 30s to some mid 40s out the door, waking up tomorrow morning. And we'll see temperatures tomorrow afternoon back above average, most around 68 to about 70 degrees, and 80s on the way heading closer to the weekend. I'll break down your 7-day forecast again day by day coming up on the news at 5 and up. And we'll see just a few very isolated sprinkles, maybe even a flurry or two, no accumulation. Mostly right now north of I-44 and a few spots maybe here in south central Missouri overnight tonight, but it's really not going to be a lot of rain at all for anyone. Temperatures right now are falling a bit, 35 in Rolla, 36 in Warsaw, 43 here in Springfield, and still 51 in Harrison right now. So kind of a big difference in temperatures back from our northern to southernmost cities. And temperatures for many over the next few hours really not going to move too much more, maybe cooling off a degree or two, with temperatures waking up tomorrow morning ranging from the upper 30s to low 40s, and I think maybe a few more upper 30s in some of our northernmost counties than this model here shows. But regardless, everyone's starting off pretty mild, and then we warm up tomorrow afternoon to around 68, 70 degrees across much of the area, back above average for this time of year. And we are tracking a big warming trend heading into the next several days, and most stay dry all week aside from the rain chance tonight. I'll talk more about your 7-day forecast coming up soon.
Thanks.
Locked on in, and we have a few sprinkles, maybe a flurry or two this evening, but no problem, no accumulation expected. And a lot of this, which radar shows right now, is actually not reaching the ground, actually evaporating before it hits the surface thanks to some pretty dry air in place. Temperatures over the next couple of hours will be back in the upper 30s to mid 40s, and we'll continue to see temperatures only cooling off a few degrees more overnight tonight and by sunrise tomorrow morning. And then we'll continue to see warmer afternoons through the rest of the week. Upper 60s to around 70 degrees by 3 o'clock tomorrow. And winds will pick up slightly maybe over the next couple of hours with some gusts around 20-25 miles an hour. Nothing too strong coming in from the south, but that will push in some warmer air heading into the next couple of days. Now tomorrow afternoon looking pretty light. It should be a beautiful day with a lot of sunshine after just a few showers overnight. There is the better chance for just a little bit of some very light snow up in parts of central and eastern Missouri towards St. Louis. For us, we'll see maybe a few more sprinkles than what this model here shows, but regardless, that best chance north of I-44, also into parts of south central Missouri, north central Arkansas. It's just going to be about a trace if you see anything at all, nothing widespread. And cloud cover clears on out and we will have a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Now our weather pattern shapes up like this. Big upper level trough brought us the cooler air Sunday, Monday, today. Now that's continuing to work its way off to the north and east, and we will look at warmer air to our west sitting underneath this upper level ridge, finally able to filter back on in, and our temperatures soar heading into the weekend as that ridge continues to expand here across the central U.S. and Saturday will be your warmest day of the week. So a look here at the forecast trend: upper 60s tomorrow, 70s Thursday, and then 80s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Rain chance is going to be pretty slim to come by as well. I think we enjoy a stretch of drier weather heading into the weekend, so I'm sure the spring break kids out there are really looking forward to the 80s, sunshine. Too bad pools aren't open right now because it will be a gorgeous day for your Friday and Saturday. Here's a look at temperatures Friday afternoon, most in the low 80s, and then on Saturday, I think we'll sit in the mid 80s in some spots, upper 80s in a few isolated areas, maybe some 90s back over in Oklahoma. So it will be a hot weekend ahead, feeling great, more like summer rather than spring. And through the rest of the week ahead, like